Hi, I'm Krista Johnson. This is my horse Louie. I'm just going to talk about haltering, some different points and little things that are important. I'm going to start out off to his left side because my halter ties on the left side. I want his weight to be on his front right foot a little bit more than his left. And I kind of want to be in this pocket between his jaw and shoulder. I've got my quick release knot on my halter already. And he knows this already, so he's pretty good about it. I'm going to put my hand over here, tip his nose to me, bring my halter underneath his throat. And I've got the tail end of my halter that I can just pull to untie that knot. I want to try to touch the whiskers on the right side of his face with the halter noseband first. Reason being is those whiskers are super sensitive on horses. If I touch the left side first, I might encourage him to turn his nose away from me or even throw his head up in the air and suck back. So I want to try to think about trying to get there he kind of barged into my space a little bit. He shouldn't do that. I'll just set him up a little bit better. May have asked him to flex a little bit too much there. I can ask him to bring his head back around just by using that little feel on the halter as well, but try to touch the whiskers on the right side of his nose first. I'm going to tie my halter up on this side. I don't know if you can get a view from this side of what the pocket kind of looks like. I'll bring him back here. So I'm kind of between where his jaw and his shoulder is, and when he's got that lateral flexion there, kind of creates a little bit of a pocket. The reason being for that is if he were to spook, hopefully he'll spook away from me and not come over the top of me. But if you have a horse that's maybe feral or not really halter broke, it's really important to pay attention to those whiskers on that side of the face. I don't know if you're familiar with rope halters, but I can show you really quickly how to tie that quick release knot if you're interested. Now how I'm going to do that, I'm going to take my loop, kind of lay it flat here, and my tail end, I'm going to give it maybe about that much, set it over right in front of that knot, and I'm going to come around here and then fold it through that original loop and tie it up like that. Then when I pull this, it completely comes loose. And I usually do that once I have my hand over his neck. It's also important when you're sticking your hand over your neck that you're not leaning over and sticking your head over their head in case they do throw their head up. But that's how I tie that knot. It makes it pretty handy where I can put my lead rope right there. I can hang it up that way. That way when I go to get my horse, I can throw this on my arm, go to get him, pull that loose, see if I can tip him over to me a little bit without tipping him over. And how I'm going to tie the knot when it's on his head, I'm going to come through the loop here. It's always important to tie your knot around that loop and not up here. If you tie it up here and they pull back really tightly, you may have to cut your halter to get it untied. So I'm going to take the tail end around this loop and point it towards his eye, and then bring it back through this new circle here that I'm making there and pull it through. If I need to adjust it, if it's too big, I can test it out by taking this knot that's under his chin, pushing it to the right, pushing it to the left, and then pulling it up more. So again, make sure you're tying it here and not, I'll do it wrong. So you can see the difference, or if Louie will let the camera angle see it. I maybe can't even do it wrong now. Like up here, I can't even do it wrong anymore, but always tie it around that loop. Even if they do pull back, that knot can get pretty tight, but I've every single time been able to get it out with my fingers. So there's my tips on haltering a horse. Thanks for joining us.